You are insightful. Look,
Thank you.
silence, my lord. Okay, and so what I just want to make sure it's live. Yes. Wait.
Hmm.
Yay! We are live. Hello. Good Friday. It's actually Friday the 13th. Like a nightmare of worlds and timing. But hello everybody. Welcome. It has been a couple of weeks. Has it been weeks? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Time is moving.
Yeah.
It's been weeks, right?
It's been. I think so.
Because yeah, it's been weeks. Okay, so maybe a month.
Because we talked about doing this last week, but I was out of.
Yeah, you were busy.
Yeah.
And it was kind of short notice, so we decided to do 2 weeks later. So yeah, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for agreeing to subject yourself to this chat room.
I'm excited. I'm here for it.
The chat is delightful. I always know this. And you are also delightful. And I mean, I am also fairly delightful. So we have a pretty good setup here.
Delight all around.
Well, it's like delight all around. That could go places. That sounds wrong in some ways. But welcome everybody, Gourmet Pens and Friends. Today's friend is Mikayla of whitebearpens. Now, like, no worries. Again, it's really just, we're going to just chit chat. And you and I have actually bounced this back and forth in the past, like just the idea of imposter syndrome. So that was kind of the route I wanted to go, because I have been talking about that kind of thing with my therapist. So I thought it would be really interesting for us to chat about it. But do you want to, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody who is currently in the chat knows you, but for people who will watch later, do you want to just tell us about you?
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
As a pen maker?
Or as Mikayla.
I was born on a warm summer day.
Oh my god.
No,
I was already thinking, oh my god, how does she remember this? I might need help.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
Let's see. I started making pens about a year and a half ago, and I started selling them about a year ago.
Holy smokes, that is so recent.
It's very recent. Very recent. So hence the imposter syndrome coming, I guess. But I'm just a huge fountain pen nerd, so it seems like a natural progression in my obsession,
Yeah, and you had access to tools, because you said your dad made pens?
Yeah, he made like the ballpoint kit pens.
Right.
At one time, so he had a lathe and a lot of the supplies and stuff and next door, and so I was like, I mean, I love creative outputs, so once I figured out there was a way I could be creative, thank you. With fountain pens, I was all in. I'm down with that.
Ooh. So have you made other things before fountain pens?
No.
Oh, so you just went really into it, like with terrifying machinery and whatnot.
I've not turned anything other than a fountain pen. My dad does bowls, and he makes like pool cues, and he does awesome stuff like vases. He does really intricate work, but to me, I like.
You're like, I just want shiny pens.
Yeah, and I want color, so I don't turn like wood. Like I practiced when I was learning. I learned on wood, but since I want the colors, I need the color and the sparkle.
Okay, I'm also picturing a pool cue in like sparkly clear something.
Why not? Right?
Why not?
Why don't people do? Do people do that? I don't know.
I don't think so. You could hustle. You could hustle with that. People would be like, oh, she doesn't know how to play. And then I wouldn't know how to play, so I would lose. But they would be distracted. Yeah, they would be distracted by my cue. I'd be like, look at my massive cue and pull it out.
It's like shiny, blinding the opponents,
Oh my god, that's really cool.
That's some strategy.
Oh, okay, so you really just went for this.
I did.
Were like, I want pens that are sparkly and shiny and fun and colorful.
Yeah, well, I love all my maker pins that I've gotten, but I felt like there was kind of like a stopping point, like to what I was seeing made, and I wanted to do something that was just different, a little bit out there.
Yeah.
nothing I'm doing is groundbreaking, but I feel like I just wanted to add a little something else.
Well, I think you bring your style, which you developed remarkably fast.
Thank you. It's because I knew what I wanted to do.
You knew what you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you entered the pen world with your, I think really your Ursa and the Echo, which I wish I had. I mean, I know I have at least this one. So like colorful body, clear cap.
Oh, that's.
And but what you did is you put the glittery domes on the ends.
Yeah.
Which has now become, like, at least to my eye, when I look in my pen case, like from the top, it's very recognizable. And then with the Echo with your adorable little beadwork logo. Okay. I just washed one.
I've got one somewhere.
Okay, it's really interesting because it is a pen. I mean, there's only so many shapes you could do. Yes.
Yeah.
The adorable little, like, flat. I mean, it's kind of flat, rounded top.
Yeah, I try to. I don't know, not make it too.
Like, it's not like cut flat.
Right.
And I mean, it's very, very recognizable, and I'm amazed that you achieved that so quickly.
Well, thank you.
But you're right. You must have known what you wanted to see.
One of the big things I wanted to see was animals.
Well,
I'm like, why don't more people have like cute animals on their nibs? You know what I mean?
So yeah.
I'm gonna stick some bears on it.
I mean, the bear is so cute.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're right, because I'm a sucker for when there are like candy names or animals. And like the item could be ugly, yours or not, but it could be ugly and I would still be tempted.
Yeah, yes. That's exactly it. Like if I picked an animal, I would have probably picked a fox, but I live on White Bear Avenue is the name of the street I'm on. So like it just seemed like
Oh, here.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect timing.
That's the name of the street I'm on. White Bear Avenue.
I mean, okay, at least you don't live on like a gross street name.
Yeah.
Like there's some
trashy raccoon.
Yeah, like there's some gross ones out there. But I really like the idea of the animal. I mean, you could totally do an entire animal series.
Yeah.
Just because it's White Bear doesn't mean you can't branch out to other animals.
So what I want to do is I wanted to keep doing like the fun finials. I want to do something that's a little less labor intensive.
Yeah.
So what I want to do though is I want to do Trash Panda Court. That would be such a good street name.
I love that.
That's good.
Oh my gosh.
But I want to do something where I do just different designs on all the finials. So you don't know what to, like, I'll just, whatever I'm inspired by from that blank, I'll make like.
Sorry? Oh my goodness. Hibachi, we have to ban you. So when you do your White Bear logo in the finial, you have the little bear, like your logo, but then you put beads around it. So are you doing that like by hand?
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some. I do it in layers too, which kind of helps. But then I've just been playing around with doing glitter instead of beads too, which has been kind of fun in my last batch.
Okay, so for anybody, let's see if I can get this to focus properly.
I have no luck.
There, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, you place all of those beads.
I mean, you can kind of pour, but then I use like the needle tweezers to kind of like maneuver, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my gosh. And is the little logo like, what is that? Is it edible?
Please don't eat it.
I'm like, that looks like a snack. Like, is it something you place in as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm amazed by this because I can't make stuff. I love the idea. I'm incapable of executing the making of something.
But your creativity is expressed in a wholly different way.
Like, totally different. Nothing useful.
No, super useful. Are you kidding? Yeah, no.
Like I admire that someone can figure out how to do this and place everything. But I can imagine that is a lot of work for every pen.
Right. And which is why my output isn't great. Like you're not seeing me stock all the time. This isn't like.
Well, you also have a family.
I do.
Like you're a young family.
I'm not alone in the world. I have people.
You have people that you also share your life with, and
Indeed.
And they look after you, and you look after them. And like that's good stuff.
Well, and I never wanted this to be like 40 hours a week.
Yes.
Giving it my all.
Yeah.
Like I still want to be there for my daughter, you know.
Yeah. And then also not like burn yourself out.
Yes.
Right?
I'm still working on the healthy
that's hard,
balance
right?
thing. Yeah. That's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard because you feel like you're letting people down if you're not like. But there's only so much of yourself you have to give. I don't know. It's tricky.
That's true though, and I mean that kind of segues beautifully into our concept of I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Hibachi again because using his girlfriend's eyelash tweezers. When he told me this, just for the record, he said eyelash tweezers, and I thought like, is she plucking her eyelashes? But he's like, no, it's for applying her lashes. So that was better.
That sounds very painful.
That I was like that. I was like,
don't do that.
I was like, are you sure? Don't copy that. Yeah, okay, so you started. And I mean, was Baltimore this year your first show that you attended as a vendor?
Yes.
Okay, because that was pretty impressive. Like you came out with, first of all, you had coordinated display. So you had your logo tablecloth, and you had like your little handwritten sign with the pricing, and it was just.
Well, that's another pet peeve of mine is when I go up and I don't see pricing.
Yeah, it's like I want to know if I should commit my heart.
I don't even know if I can ask. You know, like and then you feel uncomfortable because you don't want to be like, I'm just putting it back, and then making them feel bad. And I don't know.
They tell you a price, and it's like, I love this, but I can't.
Right? Like, why did I touch this?
That's a really good point. See, I like that because basically what you're doing is just showing what you want.
Yes.
And hoping other people will catch on.
It's terrifying. It's very much putting yourself out there.
It is terrifying. I very much agree with you because I remember when I first started going to shows. I'm so old, like 10 years ago, and I was probably like one of like 3 colored women.
Oh my gosh, that's
which is so funny to imagine. and now the crowd that comes to pen shows is so much more inviting.
Yeah,
I think
it's a lot. It's pretty diverse. Like you still see some
remarkably.
Right, you still see some of I think the older time.
Yes, the less thrilled peoples about us wanting sparkly things and putting shimmer in our pens.
Yeah.
But that's okay because things are changing. Oh my god. I was gonna say maybe you should just propose with new eyelash tweezers.
Shiny silver.
Like nice shiny ones, like maybe like lacquered or something.
Or you could bedazzle them.
Oh my gosh. You guys could you and Nick could totally do a very cool collaboration. I'm just saying.
Oh, dude, Nick's like one of my idols.
He is. I mean, you're both very awesome.
I've got like a section of his in my Toyota Craft drawer.
That's amazing.
My Pasquale section.
I think that's amazing. I love how the newer crowd of makers are all like supporting each other, and like it's not like oh I don't want them to succeed, you know. I should not be idolized.
No, it's been awesome. Like Nick's been awesome. Like Luke at Papa J, he's been awesome. Rob's Penworks.
I'm so glad. Oh yeah, because you shared a table at San Fran, right?
Yeah, and we like chatted online. So he's amazing.
I agree.
Nice.
I agree. All these folks are so awesome, and it's to me, it's very clear that you are on par with everyone. It's not like I know you might feel that, oh, I'm not experienced enough to do this, or am I really a maker? But for everybody else, I guarantee you, we're all looking at you like you are amongst the ranks of the pen makers. Like, it's so good. So we need to tell you this.
I appreciate that so much. I'm trying to improve. Like you just got one of my latest with some improvements. I don't want to ever be like stagnant. You know what I mean? I want to keep on getting better. And other makers have like given me ideas and ways I can improve. So I'm trying to really embrace and change things in a positive way. Because once you're comfortable in just cranking things out, I don't know. I feel like you've got to keep challenging yourself.
You do, and I like this. Let me add this. Iterate your way to success, and you can. I mean, there's always room for. Sorry, but okay. Just in case anybody's wondering, what happens is my hair touches my face and it tickles me, so I keep scratching. Anyway, there's always room for improvement or coming up with something new. It's not like anything was bad, but you're improving things, and it's really cool to see. Also, it allows me to justify. I'm like, I would like to support this iteration.
You were too kind.
I'm doing a service. I'm helping. Okay, so let me pull up imposter syndrome. So we were talking about this.
I wouldn't do that if you had normal.
The imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills and successes. And it's not necessarily just in your, like, in the maker world. I mean, people at work feel this, or even like as a family unit or as a friend, they might feel like an imposter. You feel you're not as talented or as worthy as others believe, and you're scared that one day people will realize that. Like, one day you'll be discovered.
Yes.
And
this is my life summarized in a definition.
It is a big thing. I think especially like in a creative world where like what you're putting out is a representation of your effort and your knowledge. And the internet it says that symptoms are procrastination, perfecting a task for too long, self-doubt, and the incapability of acknowledging one's own skills and criticizing one's own performance. And that's terrifying, though, because that's a lot to deal with.
I think, like you said, like so much of what I'm trying to do is what I would want. So it feels like it's not just I'm making this and putting it out there. This is like, it's me. It's what I would want in a pen. It's what, like it's very personal. Like,
yes.
So I don't know. That makes it scarier.
Yeah. I think that makes complete sense that it would make it scarier because in a way it is you. Your creation is like, it's your identity in this creation. So if people reject it, it can feel scarier because it's like, oh, you're rejecting me. But first of all, no one's rejected it. So
thank you.
I mean, that for starters, that helps. Let me see. It's great to have new makers entering the hobby because every new approach adds to the community in a way that is similar to tributaries adding to a body of water.
That's good.
Oh, right there. That's a pen. That's a pen. That's good. Your mom's got to pour this blank. like colors of blues. Oh, I will absolutely.
Maybe some like teal greenish.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Oh, Simmer, that was brilliant. Or adding gum to the bottom of a table. Well, sometimes, but it depends on the flavor of gum. And it depends what's going on under there. But is this something you have noticed for a long time, or has it really been more
like having imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Well, I always have anxiety.
I
baseline have anxiety.
It's like my general state.
Right, it's like mildly anxious.
Okay.
But no, this is the first time. I mean, I think it's the first time I've put myself out in such a public feeling way. So that in that sense, like it's very new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my job before, I didn't quite have imposter. I felt like I kicked some butt at my job before. I was a medical laboratory scientist, so I worked in a hospital lab. My favorite was like I worked in chemistry. I loved working in the chemistry department.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like you just kind of like you're by yourself running, testing blood, analyzing.
Yeah.
You know, I loved. I was like in my own world. You know, and I felt like I was really good at that. But that's not as personal. You know what I mean? Like
it's not as it's more you're running analytics.
Exactly, because that's what I liked about it.
Influencing so much, right? You're just running the assays or something.
Exactly. Yeah. I just calibrate. I run.
First of all,
the numbers work,
I love that you're a science nerd. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So Maria says, I've never met a single artist, including herself, who doesn't have it. I've always told people I can't edit my writing or evaluate what I make because I'm too in my own head to do it fairly.
That's super fair.
Yeah. And Maria, how long have you been an artist? I just wonder because I think of what you've just said where she can't edit her own writing. And I remember when I first started doing videos, I would just like barf if I saw myself come up or hear my own voice because I would panic that I said something wrong or did something stupid on video.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing videos for like a decade, and honestly, it will go away.
It does go. How long?
It didn't take. It probably took me about 2-3 years.
Okay.
Before I was really comfortable with being okay with the idea that there would be people who don't like what I do or like me, or be like really annoyed. I say stupid things on video all the time, and I just don't care anymore because there's this, my therapist told me this about imposter syndrome, that we think about ourselves way more than other people are thinking about us in a negative way.
Right.
And it's really like people aren't thinking about all the things.
People are thinking about themselves too. Exactly. Like everyone's in their own life, like wrapped up in their own.
They're worrying about themselves, not, oh my God, what did gourmetpens say yesterday on video?
Right.
Like, that is totally something that we do to ourselves. And I do think it comes a bit from anxiety because we are anxious about how we present.
Yeah.
And then imposter syndrome because the entire society is like, you must be absolutely amazing and perfect and productive at every second of every moment of the day.
Right.
Your brain is not your friend.
Yeah. Thanks, communism.
Yeah. Yay! Woo! Your brain is actually not your friend because your brain's only purpose apparently is to like keep you alive, right? It doesn't care about your feelings.
Right.
Or your relationships. It's like, oh, you're hungry, kill that person, take their food. I mean, it doesn't care. So don't listen to your brain.
Right.
It's not.
It's hard, and I'm working towards it, right? It's like a work in progress.
Yeah.
I think every show I do helps. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like seeing the real face-to-face, talking to people.
Absolutely.
And I don't in no universe do I expect like everybody to like what I do, but it's just like I hope somebody does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think the majority of people will like the majority of others if they're in the niche already. But it is intimidating to think that there are people who are not going to like us.
Yeah.
But now I just kind of make it hilarious for myself. Like, if like every now and then I will Google myself. Terrible idea, but
you're brave.
Like, oh, I'm an idiot. No, do not Google yourself. First of all, Google will give you like the most common search terms for you. That's traumatic.
Right.
It's traumatic, and I have learned things about myself that other people feel, and in my first like 2 years of videos, it definitely rocked my world. Like I would, not in a good way. Like, I would leave Reddit like bawling. And I don't know if it's because I'm older now. I just don't care.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
really,
place to be.
I love it. I really love it. It is one of the greatest things ever about getting older. I just don't care. I'm like, I don't care if you don't like me. Bye. You know, it's just so much easier now.
That's
I
so
promise
freeing.
it gets better.
Yeah.
It is so freeing. And I almost find it comical now when people complain or leave, like, oh my god, she's so annoying. I'm like, why are you on my channel then?
Right.
Yes. No more
you
ads
chose
to
to
give.
take time out
Yeah,
of your day.
you brought yourself here. So clearly you're the masochist. Like, if you brought yourself here and you don't even like me, you're the one with the problem.
Right.
Not me. And I think what helped was consistently being out there. And I think that's what you said, like going to shows.
Yeah.
It does help.
It's
just
like it's
forcing yourself.
exhausting, but it's so good at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely
emotionally,
exhausting.
I'm spent afterwards, but I think it's like seeing people face to face talking with you. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so healing. You know what I mean? Versus like feeling like you're hiding behind the wall of animosity.
And because when you're at home and thinking about this stuff, there's no one there really to counter it, right? It's really just you in your own head hoping that your brain is being rational with you. It's not.
Yeah.
And at shows, when you are flooded with people who are, first of all, like trying to convince you to let them buy your pens. Because I'm like, I want this. You're like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I am sure.
I didn't want you to do it because you felt guilty. Oh, that's so
nice. But see, I wouldn't. That is awesome.
That's super nice. Thank you.
I think doing stuff like this as well is a good reminder that people really value you and appreciate you. I know this is very uncomfortable. I hate feelings.
No, I really appreciate that because it's been a struggle. Like, yeah. Like you said, but like I think seeing people face to face, hearing positive things, because otherwise it's just me trying to guess if people will like, you know what I mean? And I can post things online, but until I see people holding the pen and like then it's like, okay.
It's like, okay. Yes, you did not use it as a toothbrush for your dog or something.
right. So it's like a slow confidence builder.
Yes.
So maybe in 2 years I'll be at your level of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And you absolutely. And I think what you're doing is, first of all, I'm really into it because your style is very, very much what I like. Like, I say ugly pens, but I don't mean them in a negative way. Like, I love janky colors and like what I
unexpected.
Swear, like, yes, I'm like, make this as violently blinding as possible for me. I want to be blinded by the neon. It's like, this is what I want. I want things that are going to stand out and make me happy.
Yeah.
And so you've got that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, this is getting past the self-doubt of people genuinely wishing you success is hard.
It is.
I think it is hard, and it's also, I mean, I know everybody experiences stuff like this, but I feel like it's a little extra harder as a young woman.
Yes.
Right? And you're also managing being a mother because you have a young daughter. So like, that's, oh my god, I have nieces. I cannot. So I admire you already.
Well, thank you. It helps. She's super cool. She is.
I believe coolest.
That. Yeah, she's awesome.
I believe that.
She's 5, so you know she comes up with these big eyes. She's super creative.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah. It's nice to meet you too, Dustin.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see. We've got Dustin. We've got Alia Rose. The contrasting bands are a great touch.
Thank you.
See, this is really good stuff because there's also, obviously there's Instagram, but to filter through everything and pick out the good things is really hard to do. So thank you. Yes, let's flood her with good stuff so we can just make her really uncomfortable with all of this.
You guys are so nice.
Oh, you missed out on her pet.
I'm hoping to vend in Chicago. I filled out the application this year. I filled out the application, but I haven't heard back. But it's the closest show to me, so I'm going. And like, regardless of whether or not I'm selling, I'm gonna buy some pens in there.
Yeah, they have
one way or another.
A strange setup at Chicago where they you fill it out and then they let you know like weeks later, which is terrifying.
It's horrifying. But they're at a new location this year, so hopefully more tables.
Right. Oh, I love this.
We'll see.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I think that's what's been hard though too, because that's why the imposter. I don't want people to buy my pens because I'm a woman maker. You know what I mean?
Right. Like super, let's support her.
Right. That's so like I'm super proud of that fact, but like I want my pens to be like awesome pens on their own. You know what I mean? That's where I think the imposter syndrome can come from. So I want my level to be.
Yeah. Like, but that's a good standard for yourself.
Right.
And we definitely did this last year, Simmer. Bring pens and sell. We actually did like dodgy backyard dealings in the entrance of the entire
and you were
place.
swapping sections?
Yeah, you're standing there. I'm like, I'll just do this one and this one. You're
like, I actually like this color better on this.
and you're like, but I need to do a fix on that one. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna eye drop it anyway.
Yeah, you're right. That's fine. It's fine.
Like, don't worry about it. But I love that you're aware of that, because it means that you are standing on the foot of your work and not like riding the tail of something else and like hoping, okay, people will feel bad for me. Like, surely there are people who go into a market and say, oh, I'm going to buy from this person because they look sad. But
she's been like an awesome person.
Oh, that's like, so wonderful.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt that you are very, very kind.
Oh, thank you.
Because there's a lot of, well, as we know, as we learn on the regular, there are not so kind people in the world, but also the pen world specifically.
I think the majority, we're pretty good.
Absolutely.
We're pretty lucky.
Yeah. The majority are pretty good. And I agree with this. Even if someone comes by because you are a woman maker, the repeat buying is because of your craftswomanship. You've just got this eye and creativity that is unique. It is to you because this is what you've wanted and you have managed to bring it to life. So, yeah, I mean,
thank you so much. I didn't know this was gonna be like this.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Philly pet. So you said you're not going to Philly?
No, not this year. I'm tempted. I'm trying to decide because I kind of want to just like jump ship and go and shop. Like I won't have a table, but I kind of want to because it looks like your classes. You've got some good stuff going on.
It is probably my favorite show. Yeah. Just because it is almost like the perfect size. It's not huge and overwhelming. Everybody's really like comfortable with each other. And because it's not so huge, it's really easy to like get to know people. There's a lot of space outside of the rooms to like hang out, and lots of workshops.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just right.
I'm like a sucker for workshops too.
They're so fun.
They're so fun.
Like they're good. Backpack sales.
Mm.
That's an option. And then what about Orlando is it September? I thought it was. Oh no, it is September.
It's like right after Labor Day, the weekend after.
Right. It's close to San Fran though.
Yeah.
I think
it's like 2 weeks after. I might. The reason it was conflicting this last year was my daughter started kindergarten that Thursday, and the show was Friday, and I'm like, I'm not missing that. But no, I need to look. I need to look at the schedule this year. I haven't booked. Yeah, Chicago's like as far as my brain has gone. Yeah, so far.
That's fair. Yeah, because you're like right in the middle of the world of
yeah, so like nothing's actually close.
Yeah, nothing is close. You're really like you gotta go a long haul to get to either place.
Yeah. Chicago I'm about 5 hours from. That's the closest.
That's respectable. That's doable.
But I like Chicago. That's a really good show.
Yeah, it is. And then the new hotel this year, which I don't know anything about, so I don't know. I like the last hotel because they had a pool. I was like, one day, I was like, I'm gonna get up at 6 a.m. and exercise before I go spend all my money. Yeah, it was just one day.
Yeah, but I bet you felt good that whole day.
I did feel good until I was like, okay, I can't walk the next day because I overdid it. So anyway,
that's also super impressive though, because pinches are so exhausting, and to exercise and then do that.
That's what I did it the first day.
Yeah,
and then I quickly learned do not do that ever again. So okay. So let me see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find. I missed a. Dustin, I feel like I need to do Philly and Chicago. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just saying. And I like pools. Okay, I like water. It is my thing. I'm into water. So there. Also pens. Dustin and I will be a menace. I believe that. I believe you could be a menace. Like a good menace, but
in a good way.
Like in a good way. But I mean, you have the St. Clair. Is it the St. Clair R? Is that the model it is? From Rickshaw with the I'm not the zippy one with the pockets.
The new one with the zippy with the
like
pockets.
This one. I've got my Skogsy one here.
Yeah,
but you have this model
with the bears.
With the bears,
I did. Now I have this this model.
Oh F.
Yeah, I like this one better.
Oh F. Okay.
Because I can. Well, it's got
you can get in there.
Yeah. You can do 6, and then I shove 2 in the front.
Oh, that's so sweet and lovely. Yeah. I cannot show what I do to mine.
What do you do to yours?
Well, first of all, my regular ones, like the koozie cases. This is an example.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's so happy.
Room to spare.
And right, so I can fit a few more.
Like you could stuff so much into these things. So anyway, this is why people are horrified by me. They're like just disgusted by the things that I do. But I mean, even this.
Oh.
But that is why your finials, I can see it and not have to think like, okay, where is it? I already know just based on the little dome. Yes, it is abuse. I'm not dumping it out. I am not dumping it out, Hibachi. That's not going to happen. No, I'm not doing that. But no, we're not going to do that. Okay, so Simmerjeet, you need to go find the case. Okay.
Oh.
See, I love this. I love it. I think you're appealing to a large market of us, and that's a good thing, right?
Hi.
Also, hi. Okay, so I was going to look up something about imposter syndrome because I wanted to. Like, how many pens do I have inked at this moment? Probably about 120.
That's amazing.
Well, I just cleaned about 15 in the last 3 days. Like, I emptied them out and cleaned them.
So question, how often do you open one and then it like hard starts from not being written for a while? And does that happen like seldom, often? Not, I don't know.
You know, shockingly, not very often because
that means you get good pens.
Yeah. I get good pens. I use them often enough, and if it's dry, I lick it, or I just keep this little bottle of very dirty water, and I just dip it in there, and I'm good to go. But because I'm not like, I don't know what my inks are.
Because yours are all eyedroppers. Yeah. So you can't turn your converter and force a little ink in there.
Exactly. So I'll also flick it, and that often leads to events. But I know roughly what shade is in which pen. So I might not remember the exact ink because it changes over time when you re-ink them with the other things. But I have an idea. I'm like, oh, I want like a shading green. I know this pen has a shading green in it, so that's close enough.
Right.
All your inked pens stacked together in a Sailor pen box on your desk. Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Checks out.
You're in the right place. You're in the right place. Okay, so the thing with imposter syndrome that they recommend for I guess minimizing or managing it. So they say the 3 C's, and the first C is clarify. Where you identify your imposter syndrome originating. When did you first become aware of this? Was it high school, college, professional workplace? Identifying your originating story means exploring possible connections that might communicate a message to you about your abilities or the development of this. I think for you, entering the pen world is probably the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I started making pens after I'd only been into them for a short time too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
right.
I've been buying fountain pens and using them for a little over 2 years.
And you have an impressive array.
Oh,
I said array. I thought like that was the right choice of word.
I don't know. Hoard?
No, it's not a hoard. It's not a hoard. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I bought two pens today.
I bought 6.
Oh, that makes me feel
so I win. I win
today.
Just today.
Oh,
from someone in the chat room. I was helping him purchase his pen that he wanted.
Leonardo.
So I was doing a service to him in a fashion.
You were so selfless.
See? Thank you. Thank you. This is why I don't own a house, because I could never. I love it when people wonder how I function. I'm like, I wonder how I function too. Let me see. I'm just going to show somebody okay, so like I was just emptying these last 4 pens. It's just chaos.
So beautiful chaos.
Like but look how close to the end I am. I'm almost done. And this is one of those like full-size Hobonichi notebooks.
Those are the ones I use too. The A5 size?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are the ones I use.
It's going to be so epic. I had to tape the binding because I have soaked ink through it so much. That's okay. I have like 12,000 notebooks. I don't need to worry about this. So the crinkle sounds, I agree.
Good.
Okay, so we're going to clarify. Also, with imposter syndrome, where it often comes up is actually mental illness. Like people believing there's nothing actually wrong with them, so they don't deserve help or don't need help. And they often compare themselves to someone who is sicker and say, well, like they're sicker than I am, so they need help. I don't need help.
Right.
And I think that is probably something that is very perpetuated in this very bitter, cold society.
Yeah.
Not in our area, but
I think it's getting better.
It is getting better.
Slowly.
It is slow, but I think just as more people just say stuff and make it less
stigmatized.
Yeah, like if more people who appear to be amazing or like normal admit to things or say what they're experiencing, it becomes so much easier for someone else to say, oh, I have that too. And if someone that awesome can have it, then maybe it's not terrible if I also experience that.
You feel less alone, like community and
yeah. And that's probably why the pen world is so generally good with each other. Like we're amazing. I mean, some of us are dodgy, but most of us are not. And oh, this is interesting. First of all, strings of petals. No, I disagree. You are not. How does FOMO and imposter syndrome work together? Okay, this I have a big thing with. In my shop when I do like collaboration runs with small makers, I always try to leave it open with the maker because I don't want it to be something where people feel they have to stretch themselves to get something
Yeah.
in fear of missing out. Like that's their only chance to get it.
Well, you don't want them to buy it because they're afraid they're gonna. You want them to buy it because they want it. Like,
yes, and I don't want them to like freak themselves out. Like, oh, I have to get it. I have to put this on my credit card. Like, I need to overextend myself because this is my only chance. And I know that is a huge marketing ploy tactic, and it is effective. But like even with my Banu pens, usually they limit it to like 300 pens, and that's all you're allowed to do. But I'm like, please listen, I will beg you, please let me continue doing these, because that's something that's really important to me, is to not stress people out. Like, you're supposed to enjoy this hobby.
Right. No, that's been part of what I think gives me a little bit of imposter syndrome, though, with not feeling like I'm putting out enough, because I don't want people to feel like, I don't like things that sell out quickly and feeling like you have to be there that minute or you miss it. But I'm not capable of doing more.
Yeah. Well, so you're one person doing everything.
Right. That's why it's been such a like balancing act with learning my own, like how much I can put in and how much I need to keep back for myself. And it's hard.
I'm sorry, this imagery, 12 ducks. That's, first of all, beautiful. I know ducks really like hanging out together. You didn't need to buy them, but you will probably enjoy them. Okay. I think that's safe to say. And I think there's a risk with encouraging FOMO. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's a much higher chance of someone being unhappy afterwards because it didn't live up to their expectations and wanting a refund. Yeah, that is really interesting.
That's probably true. I bet there's a higher return.
Yeah, and like the remorse or the guilt of, oh my god, I did that. It was irresponsible. I should
impulse purchase.
That. Impulse purchase. I mean, I do that. I definitely impulse purchase, but usually at like 3 a.m. buying snacks. It's
what snacks are you buying at 3 a.m.?
Okay. I got these. They're like Doritos, but protein Doritos. So they're supposed to be. They're like, oh, it's a healthy snack, right? Not when you eat 12 bags of them. So it's like not actually good for you.
Your challenge accepted.
I'm like, oh, this is so good for me. I can eat several bags. I recently had a medical procedure. Yes, Quest chips. Quest. That's the one. I recently had a medical procedure where I had to fast for, it was like liquid diet. And it was only about, so it was 24 hours, so about like 36 hours of liquid. It was long. Yeah. And so the night before the procedure at like, I swear, at 3 a.m., I spent like $600 at Costco buying food because I was so hungry. I was like, I need, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. I was scoped. On both ends. Yeah, I bought so much food because all I could think about was like, I can't wait to come home and eat. And then I was so doped up that I came home and didn't eat for another like 18 hours. So that was great.
Oh my gosh, I bet when you finally ate, you were like,
oh my god, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. It was like, oh, the joy. That joy was.
So what was the first thing you ate after?
I can't remember. Shoot, I can't remember.
You're just coming off the drugs.
I was very, very doped. Very, very doped. There is no video footage, but I did try to get dressed before the nurse closed the curtain again, and I put my boots on before anything else. So, yeah, I did make a high video because I know better. Please make more fun pens. Symergy, what would be a fun pen for you?
Oh, he's talked to me. We've got a plan. I just need to execute it.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's interesting. He's got ideas.
He does have ideas. I'm so sorry though, because he's so insane. Here's what's gonna happen. He's going to like gently plant this idea, and then he's gonna make you do it. I'm so sorry for you because he does this not to everybody. So he does this.
If he wants to share, he can. I'm not going to give away his idea.
The first person he did this to was actually Greg Hardy from Hardy Penwrights.
Oh.
No, poor Greg. Poor Greg. He made him do facets, but by hand. And he didn't want to do them. But Sim was like, no, I really want this. And then so Greg does the one pen. And he's like, never again. And then somehow he convinced them to do it again and again and again and again. Anyway, that's probably why he left us, Sim. He's like, no more facets.
No more.
No more.
That's impressive. He convinced him to continually. That takes some persuasion.
He will wear you down. He will wear you down. He's very annoying. In a great way, but very annoying. Okay, so hebberich. Is that right? Hebberich? That means greedy. Well, I do think that is something that comes up a lot in a hobby, like where people collect stuff, right? Like people can be greedy. I try not to be, but sometimes I don't want to share my stuff. Sometimes I'm like, let somebody else have a chance at those pens. I've definitely done that. Okay, here's a great question. Oh, can you tell us your scenario of your garage?
Should I?
What's in it? I mean, I don't know.
I can.
I mean, at least what's sitting there.
A new CNC lathe.
And it's heavy.
It's a big one.
Which is so cool to me because I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's like a centrifuge. It has to be really heavy to stay balanced.
Yeah, right. And I don't know, all the mechanisms that make it go.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. You can do facets on a CNC lathe. You can do them on a CNC mill, but not the lathe only.
Right.
Spins around.
Okay, so CNC mill, that must be something like what London Pen Co. has, because
I think so, because you would need
puts it in a thing and it does it on its own
with like a fourth axis. You can get a milling attachment. See, I don't even know this stuff.
I don't know. I don't understand how people know. I don't understand any of this. That's why I marvel that people can make a pen, because
it's super nutty.
It's like it comes from a stick or like a thing, and you guys do stuff. And when people are like, oh, it's like a triple star thread, I actually asked Nick the other day, I'm like, can you explain to me what triple start threading is? I don't get it.
So you know now?
Now I know. And I'm like, oh, I get it, because I mean, it's never been explained to me, and I'm not a tool person, so
right.
I don't know, and I marvel how.
Now are you like checking all your pens to see how many stars?
Yeah, I'm like, huh. And like, I'm fascinated how you get your little bands in here.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like it's like the material was poured with. Oh, look how good that looks in that light.
I can't see it. Bring it up.
Oh, it's like
that's the Pegasus
purple.
Party.
Oh man.
Yeah, Lisa Marie nailed that one.
Oh, that is killer.
The significance of a triple start thread is it's less turns to close, so it has 3 different positions that the threads will catch at.
To catch.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why people sometimes in reviews will say, oh, it's so many turns to open or close it.
Yeah, and there can be other factors like how wide, like Franklin Christoph does those big thick threads, so that can be a factor as well. You know how big.
Yeah, because those are easy to catch.
Yeah. But for the
oh my god. What? Sorry, that
block threads. See, I didn't know the word for it. See, no one tells unless someone tells you. You just
see block threads. I know. Yeah, they are like thicker. Like I know Butter Knife Creations does that. Yeah, like the big thick threads. But yeah, so I understand. Sorry to bring my point home. I understand why you may experience imposter syndrome, but for someone who doesn't have a clue how to make a pen, I have like nothing but admiration for you.
Well, thank you so much.
And I'm a nerd. Like I'm totally into things and figuring out things, but not this. I don't I'm not into machines. So
I think it's one of those things, like when I started learning, I'm like, oh, I get this. This is pretty, and then it just gets like infinitely more complicated.
Yes.
Like once you learn all you because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Of course.
So then you start learning a little bit, and then it's like, oh wait, but then there's this, and then this, and and it's just a wormhole. And there's perpetually things like ways to do facets apparently on a CNC lathe that I didn't know about. So
as we know, no, it's true. I have barely used any pens. I almost don't even have any pens. I am a pen loving imposter of a sort. I'm a pen loving imposter.
You buy pens and then you use Bics.
Yeah, that exactly. Actually, Lord Hibachi recently sent me probably the fanciest Bic I have ever seen in my life. This is like a wooden body. Like, what is this?
But I love that it still has the original cap.
Yeah, like I don't know if this is somebody made. Okay, Lord Hibachi, can you explain this Bic crystal? Because I don't know if Bic made this, and it's like a plastic, but I think it's wood. Like there's grain in it. And oh, the Glenn Stanley Bic crystal. Okay, Glenn. So did he make this? Okay, I know this. I know that. Oh. I must have seen it on his feed before. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted.
No, that's fascinating.
I get excited, obviously. I'm in the right place because got wood. Yes. I do have wood, and I also have horn in my pen case. And also resin.
I want to see.
You want to see my horn? It's actually
I want to see your horn.
It's not mine.
I was just tempted by Hibachi's the mammoth tusk.
This one is actually Simmer's pen. There's ink. The ink is not me. The ink is not for me. But it's one of the Ryan Krusak's moose. So it's moose antler.
How heavy is it?
It is not heavy. He did put a liner in it, which adds a little bit of weight, but it's not super heavy. And I am absolutely fascinated by the texture of this thing. It is unsettling in a fascinating way. Like it looks like multiple layers of like potato chips that like you could see the oily layers on it. And it's just, I don't know if it'll show up. But there's so much detail on it and so much texture. This ink is not me. That wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. So I'm absolutely fascinated by the concept of it. It's so weird. I kind of want to chew on it. I mean,
don't they sell like shed antlers for dogs to chew on?
They do, and I mean, I'm like, maybe I should just get one. Out of curiosity, it's very fascinating, and obviously we are in the land of the moose. Put more ink on it. That's what she said. Finally, Dustin, get some pink up in the business.
Is this the pink that's like the one you sent?
The OG pink.
Yeah.
No, that's a
different pink.
That's the watermelon slushy pink, which is like the hotter of the pinks.
The hotter. Okay.
Yeah, so the gourmet pink is kind of like a colder yellow pink.
Oh.
But I think when we release that one, I mean, when I release it, just not implying that anybody has agreed to anything yet, we'll have to do like an event. See, look, I knew where it was just based on, I was like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, whoop, boop, 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 boop. Okay, so that's all you guys will get. That's the tease of the day. I do like the changes you made to it.
I was nervous about the cap because I didn't know if that would ruin the cohesiveness. No. You know what I mean? But I thought since it's already broken apart a little bit with the section that I would sacrifice
that's a perfect
for the increased seal.
Actually, I really, really like how you did that. So at the look at the you good.
Oh, thank you.
Like
that took me a minute to figure that out.
Man. Yeah. Okay, nobody knows what I'm talking about because I'm looking at it off screen, but that's fine. You did good.
Oh, thank you. So, I was going to ask you thoughts, so this is good.
I'm very into this. So this is, well, what we looking at? Yes. Oh, I'm guessing. Okay, let me see. Yeah, it's true. It's true. That is not, that comment is not how I read it. Let's not go there. Am I going to be getting getting any more Frank and Christoph pens? Are you referring to any in specific, like the I'm guessing the Sapphire Lakes?
Oh, I want a Sapphire Lakes.
I will eventually get them, but the Stormwinds, who pours the materials, is like super backed up. So at some point it will happen, and we'll do that. So anyway, I'm sorry, I rambled forever.
No, you're good.
This is what happens. So
she's had stuff going on. She's busy.
You know, it's like yeah, and which is totally fine. And I'm just glad to know that she's still in the pen world.
Yes, we need her.
Still here. Pocket pens. Well, I have a couple pocket pens. I think so. I have a couple pocket pens, but I don't often do pocket pens just because I want more body for inking. Like, to hold more ink. Well, Dustin, if you are super back up, might I recommend like Pegolite or something? just go to your pharmacy and ask for a cleansing procedure. they'll help you out there. No, don't recommend fiber, because there might already be enough fiber in there. You need water. You need water to move that along. So
it's just a good general rule.
Yeah, just
drink your water.
Drink your water. Hydrate. And whenever I buy pens from Hibachi, he sends me packets of liquid IV, which actually have saved my life more than once. When I have had like hard sugar crashes and didn't realize that I was like dropping really low, and I was like, maybe I need some sugar, and that's what I had. So thank you, Hibachi. You saved my life 3 times now. I'm just saying 3 times now. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you forever, because I also know it's also late, and you've got family and hangouts and stuff. But thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been fun.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us, and that we could adore you and remind you that you're fantastic, and we're glad you're here.
Well, it's so comforting, like we've said, to know like I'm not the only one who is like knowing you went through that, and you are such a confident, like inspiring person. Like, okay, I'm like, oh, if she did this, and now look at her,
yeah,
like, keep on trucking, you know what I mean?
You will get through it, and it's gonna be so good when you come out the other side. It's gonna be so good.
Ooh, like I'm ready.
you'll feel amazing, and I mean, it doesn't have to be 2 years. It could be whenever you're ready. So.
Well, and we've got such good people. I've got good people around me.
Yeah,
like, very lucky.
Yeah. Okay. Look at this. I'm so sorry.
I have your project. It's in my note. It's in my plotter.
It's in your plotter. I stole his plotter today.
Which size?
Okay, look. You know how Plotter just released the new the mini 5s in the new leather? Oh. So that it's I had the Pueblo, and I really liked it, but he ordered this, and when he was ordering it, I was really mad at him, first of all. And he's like, "Do you want one? Like, are you gonna get one?" I was like, "No, I don't need another Plotter." And I didn't want to talk to him. And then he brought it in today, and I was looking at it, and he's like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "No." And so anyway, now I have it. So we swapped because I have problems. So this will now have to fix my life, and it will fix everything, and everything will be a-okay. And it will be, because every year gets better than the last year, so it's fine. Like, you know, whatever. So okay, let's get rid of that, and then come to Philly. Just so you know, it is a good time, and I mean, you could bring like 3 pens or none.
I was gonna say this year, I don't think there's a way for me to bring pens.
It is very soon.
But yes, next year.
But yeah. I mean, we'll talk. We'll talk about it. And then when we do work on the special project we're working on, when it comes to fruition, we can have a launch party right here. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Bring what you got. I mean, you can also bring anything. But stop. No, she's going to the California pen show. So that's your next pen show.
Right, yes.
Okay, so people need to aim for the California pen show if you would like to touch a white bear in person.
And then hopefully Chicago.
And then okay.
That's my next foreseeable game plan.
That's my specialty. That's what I like. I'm like, give me the goods. Open your pen case, and she's like, I don't want you to feel like you have to buy anything. I'm like, I don't want
to pressure you.
No, I'm telling you to open the pen case. It's so funny. Oh gosh. Thank you everybody so much for your entertainment and also your wonderful loving comments for Mikayla.
I truly appreciate it.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you all showed up for Mikayla because this is how we combat imposter syndrome. We just flood you. We talk about it and flood you with evidence of otherwise. So thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are so kind.
Thank you.
I wish you all a very lovely weekend. I hope, I don't know, like buy pens, use pens, touch pens, drink ink, whatever makes you happy. Don't do that part. So take care everyone, and we'll see you on the next, I don't know, hangout at some point. And Mikayla is whitebearpens. I think I put you, yes. Her Instagram is in the description, and you can check out her you can check out our website. I'm sorry, there's trauma going on. Thanks everyone, and thank you so much, Mikayla.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.
Amazing.
I appreciate it.
Bye! But you can't leave yet.
I won't.
We have to wait, like as always. Why does it do this to me? Okay, I wait for the